what you want, what you create in the mind, it's all about manifesting. Things that stay in the mind that do not manifest is good for one person itself, but maybe it doesn't benefit many more people because they don't see it. People can only see it if it is manifested. And the first way of bringing something from here out into this world is by writing it down or even speaking it on something that records it. What are your thoughts? Also meaning you can also manifest in the moment where you speak about your ideas to another person. Even that one is something that is starting to turn the wheel. So this is how I see, which is like part of the process in terms of when you want to make something become real. Why do you exchange ideas? Because sooner or later you want maybe some of these ideas to become real, that the idea starts to shape into a form. If someone is determined to really figure out what does this life has to offer to you, if you want to really engage into life at its fullest, I would say, the more you're able to let go, the quicker you are going to approach along this way. Why? Because the more things, the more weight you are letting go, the more light you become, the more open you become, the more new things are automatically starting to fill all the gaps that now you have made space for. But if you are starting into the next year, into your next period, but you keep on having the same things over and over again that are already inside of you since the last 20 years, nothing too much new gonna come. Because there is something already too hard inside of you. You're stuck already with a conceptual view about how this life is supposed to look. And this is sometimes why we call, you have the physical practice to keep your body healthy and running along this lifetime. But then we have the spiritual practices. The ones that don't have so much to do anymore with the physicality. They have something to do with opening up, allowing your mind to get free of the concepts, get free of the things that have been accumulating inside of ourselves. And that from time to time then start to block ourselves. And this is why we have those physical practices, mental practices, and both of them, the more you're able to let go, the farther you're going to proceed. Don't put unrealistic goals into your year where you actually already know, I mean, I could maybe achieve it, but therefore, yeah, therefore what? Therefore, a lot of other things are going to be destroyed. A lot of other things are going to stop developing. And this is maybe not something that you want. So instead of making huge plans with huge steps, better think about how to structure your 24 hours and put a little bit of what you want to develop there inside that day. Because instead of huge steps, what we are using as a method is continuity. That one is your friend. Repetition is your friend. Not huge jumping. It is the repetition of things that starts to embody something inside of you. And if you have a goal, and if you know what type of skills, which tools you are going to need to make this goal become true, I do think you need to figure out how you're going to get to those skills, first of all, and then make a plan and invest in them. Yeah, Qigong classes, people sometimes nowadays still understood as working with energy. No. A lot of times when you go nowadays into so-called Qigong classes, you realize very often people are also having a background music playing at the same time. So there is music together with the practice. And if you ask then the people, so what's the point of like using the music? Then it certainly is because it is adding something to you. It is adding something where you know about if this is where you would like to go. You want to become a little bit more peaceful because you had a hard day. So we have peaceful music merged together with peaceful movements and merged together with a peaceful way of breathing, which does help. But as long as you are still dependent on the music, that means you can still not yet create that peace just by yourself. Of course, you can have self-affirmations and use this as a method to push yourself because you want to achieve something. But from time to time, it's really necessary to test yourself. So I think there is something which lies in our hands, and there's something which sometimes is not dependent from whatever we are doing. But in the moment where your actions are in harmony with, let's say, some energies, some possibilities that at that point in time are anyway apparent there, something can happen. So that means, let's just assume next year, out of whatever constellation, let's take the star constellations. If the astrologers say, yes, apparently it is time to be able and have some luck and fortune next year, then this is the energetic potential that's out there. It's just there. Now, if it's out there, but the both of us are like just still sitting here and will just remain here, don't put any action into practice. Doesn't matter what type of potential it is going to exist that year, but not for us. Because we are not merging our action, our behavior in accordance to the potential. So what for me personally, all these horoscopes, all that astrology, all that forecast, what they give me is, they give me a view. If you would want something out of that potential, then it would be good now, this upcoming year, adopt your personal plans in accordance that those possibilities would be able to come true. Because let's just say, next year, somebody says, it's a good year to strengthen the bond of your family. To strengthen the bond within families. Yeah, but you are a businessman and your goal is, I'm going to make business next year. So that means you don't even see your family. Then nothing's going to happen. But if you read, it is a good year to increase the bond within families. You read that. You see that potential. And then you have the willingness to say, okay, I made business the last 5 years. My family maybe really came a little bit short. I'm going to change something about my approach for the next year. I'm going to make a little bit less of my stuff and therefore spend a little bit more with my family. Those two now together, the action that you put into place, merge together with the potential which is out there. This is what I think, why these forecasts, horoscopes are sometimes there. And therefore, yes, I believe in them, but only if you're also merging it together with your own action. Because just because the stars are saying something, but you are doing nothing, nothing changes.